Hello, it's Veronica here. And I want to ask about your opinion about Violet Willow, mysterious audience. Is she the worst purple rainbow high doll? And you can, and because I've seen her doll shelf warming a lot, I, I've mentioned people find it, I've heard people mention her being boring or or not liking the way she's written. And if people don't like her that much, why does MGA keep making so many dolls of her in the reprint? Especially whenever Sunny would have been better, as more of a main character, get more dolls, and not necessarily Violet. So in the Vampire anime series, Violet is kind of a social media influencer. Her style is very girly and feminine and glamorous. And compared to her friends, she does have a massive ego. That's something that you immediately notice about her in the show. Even the way she talks to Sunny before they, kind of fix their friendship at a few episodes after that. And even the way she uses Bella Parker's expulsion to get views on her vlog channel before eventually realizing that that's infringing on Bella's personal life and taking it down. And yes, her friendship with Sunny is a big focus of the show. So it kind of starts off her and Sunny are childhood best friends. But then she seems to feel a little embarrassed by Sunny on their first day of school. And then it turns out she very conveniently forgot to fill out the form requesting that her and Sunny share a room together. Or forgot to give it to her mom or something. When in actuality, she just didn't want a room with Sunny. And seemed to have. So of course Sunny is hurt by this. And saddened and all that. But a few episodes later, she kind of apologizes for that situation. Their friendship just kind of seems to be fixed after that. And yeah, there are a lot of people who feel like Violet is not the best friend to Sunny at times. She's just isn't the nicest person. And then you have her portrayal in the rebrand, where you have her taking selfies with her slime pet. Worrying about her hair getting frizzy in the middle of a life and death situation while in Rainbow World. And I feel like she just isn't the best fit to be a rank shimmer in that season, and that it should have been Sunny instead of her, just because Sunny has a way better personality for it. But is Violet a bad person? No, she isn't, because she at least gets enough character development to where you can tell she is a good person who cares deeply about her friends and is very much supportive of her respective friend group. As for the amount of dolls she gets, what makes me want to get a Violet doll when I rarely get them is like, is there something unique about their hair or their faces or something like that? So my favorite Violet doll like ever released is Winter Break Violet. Her face is gorgeous. The kind of silvery purple tint on her lips is really nice. And just every piece of clothing that this doll comes with is amazing. And then my second favorite Violet is her Fantastic Fashion release, which has some of the best clothing for her dolls I've ever seen. Like, really gorgeous pieces that really emphasize just how glamorous her style and aesthetic is and how luxurious it is. And, like, kind of retro it can be at times. And, like, yeah, her style on these two dolls, especially with their original outfit pieces, is really, really good. And really, really strong. And another one that I got on sale or clearance is Costume Ball Violet. So this Violet, her stand doesn't always cooperate. She's mainly like more of a display Violet for me. But she was the first Violet to use like kind of softer, more gentle makeup, but still keeping it somewhat mature looking, and it looks really nice. Like her face up is really, really pretty. And then her outfit, while it's not the strongest in the Costume Ball line, it's definitely like really nice compared to a lot of modern Violet dolls nowadays. Like, this is really nice for like a purple pleather kind of outfit. And I know she does have bent ankle, but she's a display Violet, so I don't really worry about her that much. Basically, she just like sits on a shelf and looks pretty all the time. And it's covered up by a boot, so yeah. But yeah, those are my only three Violet dolls that I have. But if I have so many purple legroom high dolls, why don't I have that many Violets? First of all, I feel like a lot of her rebrand dolls, especially, their faces are very samey. Like, you have the same thing with with like the softer, barely looking purple eyeshadow and the softer pink lip over and over, except for on a few of her dolls. Like, if you looked at the faces on a lot of her rebrand dolls, they just kind of blur together. And they just kind of look not that interesting. And while she does have the occasional doll in the rebrand that has, like, more intense makeup or, like, some purple lipstick or something like that. And there's an especially interesting looking one that has yellow highlights. That reminds me of Fadia from Neverness to Everness. Other than like the ones with like the purple lipstick or like the unique hair color highlights in their hair, a lot of them just don't stand out. A lot of her dolls look very much like you could just put them in each other's outfits and they would still look the same. Which for a doll line with that is like kind of lacking in like in variety of characters with this rebrand poses an obvious problem. And it makes it really obvious why her like dolls that have more unique like makeup or hair blends are the ones that are more sought after in the rebrand, while the ones that aren't that kind of get really ignored by people. And I've seen instances where people will just buy her dolls for the clothes, which I'm also guilty of this because I have had instances where I've put my like Storm Twins or other dolls in her clothes before, just kind of see how they would look because I need more like formal looking purple dresses. And I really do mean it with the shelf warming thing. But like, but yeah, compared to other purple dolls, I just find Violet to be a little bit more boring and uninteresting. And just sort of like generic. Even her like fashion style, where with it being more girly and feminine, is so common and so mainstream, and nothing really that standout that she easily gets overlooked. And next to dolls like Skylar, Violet is one of those dolls who gets a lot of releases, despite people not being that interested. So I do kind of want to ask, like, why does MJ make so many dolls of her? Why don't they just make other purple characters? And why do they like literally make Violet like the main like purple girl in the rebrand when they could go to other characters for this? Like, give me a rebrand Emmy or something. Or like any other purple doll that is not Violet. Heck, make Ainsley in the rebrand even. Like, just any other doll who is purple. Who isn't Violet. Because I really do feel like if they keep making too many dolls of the same few girls, despite them being like main characters and all that, people are gonna get tired of this. People are gonna want to see more like more purple characters like represented. And yeah. But like, is she the worst purple rainbow idol? If you consider her like her being really overrated in the rebrand, I feel like she's definitely one of the one less interesting ones. I don't know. I guess I just want to ramble about my opinion on this a little bit. And yeah, while I don't hate Violet, I do agree that she's one of the most boring. And one of the least interesting of the main group, doll-wise in general. So goodbye, Mr. audience. I love you. And I really appreciate you watching the channel. And that was just me rambling a little bit about how Violet is one of the most boring purple rainbow high dolls ever.